Hello and welcome to this afternoon taste challenge. This challenge is being done for an upcoming date, which I assume I'm not going to be able to do it on. All right, we have two blended Scotch whiskies, 40% alcohol, no age statement. This one is distilled, blended, and aged in Scotland by Dewar's, John Dewar's and Sons, Bacardi Limited, under a royal warrant. Bacardi owns John Dewar's, so they're a subsidiary of Bacardi. They pretty much run their own operations. Anyway, this is their introductory, their standard flagship, I guess you call it their flagship brand. The white label since 1899. The competitor, introduced in 1967, imported Sir Malcom Royal Club blended Scotch whiskey. Now, what other ones do they have besides Royal Club? Nothing. I don't think there's anything but the Royal Club, but I could be wrong. But I don't think so. There's the shield with the lion and the unicorn and the crown. They're showing the shock of barley, a copper pot still, a whiskey barrel, and a lock and a key. I guess you can unlock your pleasure with this. Product of Scotland, soft and mellow. It is soft and mellow, that's no lie. Blended Scotch whiskey. A blend of 100% choice Scotch whiskey. And amazingly, it's choice Scotch whiskey, but it's only $9.99 at Mathern's. $9.99, that's where I bought it at Mathern's. There's no website listing on Sazerac's website or Buffalo Trace. Well, Buffalo Trace only lists their bourbon and their Wheatley vodka. They don't list all the other stuff they bottled there, like Sir Malcom, John Fox Canadian whiskey. They just kind of keep that quiet. Anyway, there's some meaningless metals that it never won on the label for them. But, introduced, like I said, 1967. Says right there on the label, www.sazerac.com, although you won't find this on that website. You can call. We love to hear from our customers, 1-866-729-3722. They might tell you what distillery does it, though, because when I called Sazerac about a tequila, it didn't say anywhere on there it was made in Mexico. I said, could it be made in the United States? And they told me, oh, no, it's made in Mexico. We just forgot. They were saying, like, literally, they forgot to put the NOM number on there. And he even gave me the name of the distillery, which I didn't write down, but I think he said Maestri Distillery. I said, you mean Gonzalez? He said, well, it's an alias name. Cool guy says, why do some people put salt in beer sometimes? I guess they like the way it makes it taste. Imported and bottled by the Sir Malcom Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Yeah, well, sorry, but that's Buffalo Trace, Frankfort, Kentucky. Buffalo Trace. Now, if you take the Buffalo Trace tour, will you see Sir Malcom being bottled on the tour? No, you will not. But, that's the way that goes. All right. Dewar's. Now, my prediction. Okay, now what's the price? The price. If I get a handle of Dewar's, it's going to cost me $32. Maybe 33, maybe 31, but let's say $32. If I get a handle of Sir Malcom, and I put a link to Total Wine and More, because they've got a description, and they didn't come up with this description. You know as well as I do that's coming from a Sazerac sell sheet. No problem. That's what these companies do. They send out what they call sell sheets. It's like literally a sheet of paper, or it could be a PDF file, whatever. And they use their description from that. Could be from the distributor, but where you think the distributor got the sell sheet from? All right. They're showing a handle bottle, which is 1,750 milliliters. Handle bottles usually be your best value per ounce because you get more and you pay less per ounce. Of course, then you're stuck with more, so you better hope you like it, right? Oh, I forgot to clean these glasses. Clancy Waters says, what's up? Oh, just doing a taste challenge. It says, Sir Malcom is chill filtered, and Dewar's probably is too, to remove compounds produced during distillation. That's to get it clear. And yeah, it's clear. The process brings out the golden amber color. Golden amber. Maybe more like straw. And mild aromas of grain. You do get grain. And spiced honey cake. Spiced honey cake? The dry yet fruity medium-bodied Scotch has a pleasant melange of dried fruits and spices. I love Sazerac's descriptions because they're so over the top, you know. Dewar's white label is pretty good. It is good. You know, it hasn't been winning the taste challenges just because the cheapos are pretty good too. And it's like, well, I paid $10 more when you get something that's maybe not as good, but pretty close. How much is the Sir Malcom at Total Wine and More? $20.49. And what other one? It says, check out these similar selections. 1889 Royal Brandy. I don't think that's similar to Scotch. Classic Club Brandy VSOP. Once again, that's similar to Scotch. Regency Da Vinci Amaretto. Oh, okay. Dewar's doesn't really, flavor notes. Citrus, pear, and honey. So then they're both talking about the honey thing. Okay. B Aviation says, have you had Old Forester before? I just picked up some in Kentucky. I have tried it in the 1920. I like it. I have an unopened bottle. Oh, sorry. That's the Old Charter. Another classic, Old Charter. Sorry, got pulled. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go do something real fast. I wanted to clean these eyeglasses. They kind of smudged from working all day. And mostly I do a lot of manual labor, which I like doing because I can lift up heavy items, 60 pounds here, 60 pounds there. It's kind of like going to a gym without paying for it. Get paid to go to a gym. Teaching high school was fine, but you mainly just wear out your vocal cords because you got to talk all day. People say, oh, those kids, you had to scream. I said, no, it was because the air conditioners were so loud. They put in this new AC system. It worked okay. It really wasn't that good. But it was so incredibly loud. The students could not, if you talked at your normal voice, they could not hear you. And you never lifted any heavy stuff. So you don't get a good physical workout teaching high school. All right. Michael Hill says, hello, everyone. I think Sir Malcom is the best choice of the two. Okay. You've had it, I guess. I went to Total Wine and More for the first time in Lexington, Kentucky, and I was amazed. Haha. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing place. All right. Hear a lot of sirens. Sound like a bad wreck on either. They're kind of far away, so it might be Interstate 10. You know, we got too many big highways coming through here. U.S. Highway 61, U.S. Highway 51. 61 goes up to Baton Rouge and then to Memphis. 51 goes up to Jackson, Mississippi. And also, they come back together in Memphis. So they go to Memphis. And then you got 55 going also to Memphis, the interstate. 10 going to Baton Rouge also and off to California. And it's just too many junctions and people wreck. I'm not saying there's too many junctions. It's just that people are not paying attention because, you know, why would you want to pay attention when you're driving? You could be looking at your phone. I saw a woman Saturday coming back from the baseball game, and she had the gasoline pump handle and the hose in her car still. She like drove off with the handle in the car and pulled it out the pump and was driving down US Highway 51. True story. Southbound with the handle in the gas tank hole and the hose coming out, hanging out. And people were honking at her, look, look. And she was embarrassed. It's like, how do you do that? You know, you're not paying attention. You're on your phone. You're lost and you're in another world. And she was eating food and all, chips. I mean, she might have got a snack at the gas station. But I'm like, wow, I would be so. I hope I never do that. All right, enough ranting and raving about traffic and people not paying attention. But you say, well, the cops should watch them be on their phones. Well, how would the police pay attention to the people being on their phone? Every law enforcement I ever passed, they're on their phone. So they're looking down, you know, oh, look, a dog. Is Memphis as bad as they say it is? Surely it has some nice areas. It does have some nice areas. We went to the Liberty Bowl there in 2019, watched Tulane get beat up by Memphis. But that's all right, because in 2020, Tulane beat Memphis up, and I was at that game also. Tulane whipped Memphis. They came down to New Orleans and got it handed to them. You know, they felt shamed. But we went to a very nice Catholic church, not too far from the football stadium, and a beautiful church, all of that. So, yeah, it's nice. Went eat some good barbecue by Elvis Presley's old house, which is a kind of a bad area, you know, but the barbecue was good. Got some good beers, too, there. And I say it's a bad area because it looks run down and junky, you know, and all of that. All right. It needs to be harder to get a driver's license. So many bad drivers. Oh, terrible, horrible. Sir Malcolm is a strange one, Ron. Never seen that before. No, it's common in Louisiana. Common. I asked the girl at the customer service where they got to go to get the liquor at a local store. I said, y'all sell a lot of that stuff? She said, oh, yeah. Sell it pretty regularly. They got people that buy cheap scotch because it's cheap and it doesn't taste bad and they want to buy it. She was lucky she wasn't smoking a cigarette. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Tulane versus Army at West Point is a good game to go see. I'd like to go up there to West Point and see that, but I have never done it. Tulane usually does terrible against Army. They'll be winning like 25 points in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then, you know, they'll lose by 2 points at the very end of the game. Been through too many of those. Been to many Tulane games in New Orleans against Army. Oh, yes, yes. Many times, and usually not too successful. And, of course, against Navy, many times against Navy. I think in 1957, Navy was #1 in the country, had this great record. And it was one of those few years, you know, in the late 50s, they started to decline. In the 60s, well, Roger Staubach won the Heisman Trophy at Navy, but that was that. They never were really that great after that. But in 1957, they had this great team, and they were Sports Illustrated. Oh, they're going to be great. They're going to be great. And they came to New Orleans, and Tulane beat them. And Tulane wasn't good in 1957. It's just one of those aberrations, you know, one of those weird things. I like that Tulane plays the service academies. They usually play in Army or Navy every year. At least one of them. I remember they played at Air Force one year in 1980, I think, at Air Force. And it was on TV here on the local channel. And I was watching. I was getting so irritated. And I was like, come on. And they lost. They lost to Air Force. But they did go to a bowl game that year. But they lost to Arkansas. All right. Anyway, all right. Tulane's playing Oklahoma this year at home. Be a packed stadium. They'll get killed. Just think if they beat Oklahoma, can you imagine? But it won't happen. It's not possible. It'd be like Sir Malcolm beating Dewar. Well, that's actually not so bad of a mismatch. That's probably likely to happen. I think Tulane will be glad if they score. If they get a field goal, they'd be like, we scored on Oklahoma. I called them about season tickets, and they were saying, well, you can print them at home or put them on your smartphone. I said, well, wait a minute. No, you print the tickets and mail them to me like you always did. Oh, we're saving money on printing. I said, saving money on printing? You mean I have to be part of your savings? I said, just send me the tickets, you know? And they didn't want to do it. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I don't want the season tickets. And then they said, well, you know, that Oklahoma game is going to be really expensive. I said, I don't care. Okay. All right. So Sir Malcom is very popular. I don't know about very popular. Let me retract that. It's very common in Louisiana. I guess it trickles out the door. You know, some people buy it. Dewar's, well, yeah. I mean, everybody sells Dewar's, and it's obviously popular because everybody sells it. What's the most popular Scotch whiskey in Louisiana? You know that answer. Johnny Walker Red Label. J&B does well too, but Johnny Walker Red Label, everybody buys it. You ever go to the Sugar Bowl? Yep. I got free tickets one time to see Texas A&M play Ohio State. It's a pretty good game. Then my friend got this terrible headache and got sick. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And he was like, I got to leave. I'm so sick. I said, you're that sick you can't stay for the Sugar Bowl? But he couldn't. So he left. And then I went to Miami, University of Miami, playing, I think it was Ohio State again. And it was a blowout. That game was bad. But we watched it. It was fun, you know, just to be there. You ever go to a Michigan State game? So go green. I don't think I've ever been to a game involving Michigan State. I have been to baseball games against Indiana and Notre Dame. Okay. We get a lot of northern baseball teams come down here in February and March because it's so cold up there they can't play. So like my local team, Southeastern Louisiana, so small Division I, but Division I, not a Division I school, but they play like at home, Indiana. So Tulane might play Northwestern. Purdue, teams like that, you know, University of New Orleans might host Notre Dame just because they want to come to New Orleans. And secondly, they want to avoid the cold. So I've been to many baseball games against big teams and basketball, of course, too. But I don't think football, no, never Michigan State, no. I could have, because somebody had a free ticket. I could have gone to a Louisiana State University versus Michigan State at the Independence Bowl in 1995. I could have gone, but I was so cold that night. I said, I'm not going to sit out in that cold weather. I'll just stay here and watch it. And we watched it on TV. And they had a 100-yard run back, punt return for a touchdown. And then the next punt return was a 100-yard return. LSU and Michigan State both did that. But LSU did beat them. And then Nick Saban defected from Michigan State to Louisiana State University. And then we know the whole story there. Do you Americans like the Glazers? I don't know what that is. Sparty on B Aviation. Hey, Ronald, says Rod X. Hello to you. Okay, let's get this show on the road. It smells like grain. Like they said on the Sir Malcom sell sheet on Total Wine. It smells like grain. It smells like cereal grain. And I say they smell like Cheerios, but you know they're not made with oats, but that's what they smell like. I think I'm picking up a little bit of peat. And with Dewar's, you'll get a scintilla of peat, just a shadow of peat. With Sir Malcom, nah. But you'll get like a little bread dough. See, so with Sir Malcom, you're getting a little bread dough, which is making me think they're using a good deal of Speyside single malt to give it that bread dough flavor. Now, a guy I work with says, yeah, I used to like to drink Sir Malcolm because it didn't make me humbuggish. I said, what you talking about? Humbuggish. He said, well, if I drank J&B, it made me humbuggish. I didn't know what he was talking about. He said, I like J&B, but if I drank it, I want to fight people. I said, that's what humbuggish means? You want to have fights with people? Yeah, that's what that means. You want to get in fights. He said, I'd be trying to fight. I said, that's bad. He said, but if I drank Sir Malcolm, I wouldn't be like that. Can't be the ABV. They're both 40%. It sounds like some nutty story to me, but that's what he says. Drinking a Bud Select, nothing special, but not bad after a long day of work. I agree. I was working pretty much exactly 8 hours today. My legs are hurting, man. I was on my feet for almost all the 8 hours. All right. Cheers to the drinking. I mean, drinking, tasting. I meant to say the tasting. Oh, how sweet it is. That is so sweet, sugary. This scotch is like liquid sugar. Liquid sugar, cereal grain, bowl of cereal, bread dough. That's just what it tastes like. I came home from work and I did drink a Keystone Ice, 12 ounce, and a Kona Big Wave, 12 ounce, 5.9, and then a 4.4. We're doing examine any Kona beer at 7:20 Eastern on a Wednesday night. Well, of course, you know I bought a 6-pack of the Kona Big Wave. It's really nice. Is it extraordinary, fantastic, great? You must run out and buy it? No. But it was $7.99 a 6-pack, and it's a pretty darn good craft beer of the old school. You know what I'm saying? In 1994, it would have been wowing everybody. Now people looking past it like, what's your favorite light beer? Commerce Ozzy says, I am a Spartan, class of 87. That's pretty good. East Lansing, Michigan. What's your favorite light beer? Imperial from Puerto Rico, which we cannot get generally. Oh, we got a lot of cereal grain going on, but there is a little peatiness, I think. Hey, like this. Avian. Tequila. Thank you, Avian Tequila, for this t-shirt, which was given away at a tasting at River Ridge Discount on Louisiana Highway 48 eastbound in River Ridge, Louisiana. And I love that tequila so much. It tasted like roasted bell peppers. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to start tasting tequila. I'm having a Keystone Ice, says Commerce Ozzy. I like that shirt, says Rod X. Well, thank you. And David got one too. So I got one and David got one. And so I started buying tequila. The first tequilas I bought was Tijuana, which has been on the market since 1968. Either 1960 or 68. I know it was. I have to relook it up. Research it. Wouldn't be hard to find out. But I bought that for so cheap. I got a liter bottle of each one, the gold and the silver, at Discount Depot for only $8.99. And it's pretty darn good stuff. I know it's a mixto. It's only 51% agave, blue agave, and it's 49% probably cane sugar. No, but I don't care because it tastes good. These are mixtos. These are blended. They're not 100% barley malt. They're blended scotch. That's what they are. Do they still taste good? Yes. They got some people who would never drink blended scotch. They wouldn't be caught dead drinking it because they're only going to drink single malt. Okay. I don't care what they do. I'm not an advocate for single malt or blended. I don't care. I'm just tasting them. Tequila is my go-to when it comes to liquor, says Rod X. Hey, I'm starting to get a taste for it, you know. I bought the one with the little red hat on it. It's got like a little plastic sombrero on the top, on the top of the bottle. Not the liters I bought, but the regular bottle has a little hat. So when you unscrew it, it's got a little cap and it's like a shot. What's the name of that stuff? I'm having a Brooklyn black chocolate stout now. Smooth. Oh. That's a win. El Toro, says Commerce. Right, the bull. El Toro, what am I thinking? That's been around for so long. And I got so many comments on El Toro from people. They were like, no, not El Toro. I got a terrible story with El Toro. I was like, what are you talking about? And usually the story goes along the lines of, well, I was in the Marines once. Oh, back when I was in the Navy. Oh, man, I was in the Air National Guard. And it usually involves drinking an entire bottle of El Toro. And I was like, well, I don't think they recommend that. But none of them ever said it tasted bad. They just talked about their bad experiences with. Best hard liquor for someone who has only drank beer their whole life? That's a question. I just don't think I can answer a question like that. How would I know? The audience might know the best hard liquor for someone who has drunk only beer their whole life. Well, you could start. I don't know. It's not the best, but how about starting off with, say, Paul Masson VS? The Grand Amber. Wouldn't put you out too much money. Paul Masson is pretty good. And you can jump up to their VSOP. I don't know. That just seemed like a good one to start with. It's kind of sugary sweet. I might open up an Odell Mountain Standard IPA here shortly, says Rod X. Oh, Commerce Ozzy. Good stuff, Ozzy. All right, so I don't know. I don't know. Best hard liquor for somebody to drink beer their whole life. I'm going to say Paul Masson, Grand Amber. I don't know. Okay. Short story long. The Sir Malcolm has a lot more bread, though. I think this is Sir Malcolm, meaning it's got more Speyside single malt. I just think it does. I don't know this. I'm assuming this. The Dewars. Now, see, the Dewars has a little more of that compost, that garden compost. You say, you mean rotting fruits and vegetables and eggs and all of that. Yeah, all of that. Oh, I'm not sure. You know how many Dewars owns 5 distilleries? 5. I posted some photos this week of Craigellachie Distillery owned by Dewars and Sons in Scotland. Opened in 1891, Craigellachie. Beautiful photos. They own Aberfeldy, Craigellachie, and 3 others. Now, I don't know who is making Sir Malcolm. It could be Dewars for all I know. I mean, Sazerac's got a contract with somebody. Sazerac does not own a distillery in Scotland, all right? There's no Sazerac Scotland. There is a Sazerac Canada. It's in Montreal. So they do have their own Canadian whiskey distillery, all right? So they make their own Canadian whiskey. That's for sure. They've got Buffalo Trace. They've got Glenmore Distilling, which is now making rum, distilling rum, which I saw it just Saturday. King's Bay, I think, or something. It looked nice and all, but I mean, I didn't buy it. It was $5.99. I mean, how could you go wrong? $5.99 for gold and silver rum. But it's made in Glenmore in Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm like, I don't know. Is Kentucky the home of rum? Probably tastes fine. They've got Barton 1792 Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. They've got the the one in Maine, Lewiston, Maine. They've got the bottling plant in Illinois, Chicago. They got the Los Angeles one. They've got their little mini distillery on Canal Street in New Orleans, where they make in Sazerac rye, because we watched them distill it over there. And the guy was telling me, you can't just taste this all day. I said, why not? He said, you'll go blind. I said, I thought that was wood alcohol make you go blind. He said, well, it will. This will too. He said, and it's so, the proof is so high, it's not been cut with water yet. He said, I know distillers who have gone blind, like they'd be sipping on it all day. He said, it's true. Yeah, he must know. I don't know. And there's a laboratory at Sazerac in New Orleans where they, you know, they taste test in different rums and all of that. Maybe even tequila would be a good start. Yeah, why not? I mean, if you don't want to spend too much, do what I did. Buy the Tijuana. It's only $8.99 a liter. Well, at least if you go to Discount Depot, it is. Tastes fine. You say, no, I want something a little more well-known. Okay, you could get Jose Cuervo, gold or silver. I mean, that's about as common. That's like the McDonald's of tequila. It ain't the greatest thing. I would imagine. I've never had it, but I'm sure it's fine to start with. Getting a little smooth here after work. Oh, yeah, you're getting a little smooth. All right. I bought Don Julio once. It was good, but, man, expensive. Oh, yeah, I see that all the time. I see so many tequilas in Louisiana, but we're close to Mexico and the Caribbean, so, like, New Orleans is a huge port. So a lot of liquor comes through here. So we get a lot of stuff. All right. And we get a lot of food products people don't get. All right. I could have gotten some Helix snails, you know, escargot for 99 cents on closeout. But I said, I don't know about if I want to eat another snail, because I did eat the sea snails, the crack conch, but I don't know, a snail that climbs up trees in France. I don't know if I want to eat that. It might be good though. It's like smoked. All right, this has got to be the Sir Malcom. Oh! I'm sorry, y'all, but it's the Dewars. And then dinner. Well, I feel terrible. I thought it was the Sir Malcom with all that bread dough, and it was the Dewars that had all that bread dough, which means single malt. But you notice I didn't talk about peat. Well, so here this is a perfect example of what I'm trying to say. A $20 handle of blended Scotch Sir Malcom and a $30 handle, $32 of Dewars, and I could not even tell them apart. Would I pay the extra $12 for Dewars? I don't think so. Okay, so Sir Malcom has some things going for it, because I thought it was Dewars with that peat. It's an outlier. You will never see a Sir Malcom commercial on TV. You will maybe never see Sir Malcom in your life, but if you live around here in Louisiana, you'll see it everywhere. Okay, I'm trying to think. $20 bottles of Scotch. We're talking about the regular $7.50. Johnny Walker Red Label, Dewar's White Label. What are some other ones? Y'all can help me out. What are some other $20 mainline Scotch brands? They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. But the problem is that the $10 ones are usually close to the quality. So why pay an extra $10 and get a 25-cent better product? I'm not going to do it. You can do it. Buy it. You love Dewars. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Oh, yeah, I guess Valentine's is about $20. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. I know you'll love it. But I'm saying that there's a lot of $10 Scotch whiskeys that can compete with the 20. Now, they can't beat Johnny Walker Red. I'm going to say that, and that would make enemies or whatever. Okay. To me, Johnny Walker Red Label is very much above and beyond the other $20 Scotch. So no. There's no $10 bottle of Scotch going to come close to Johnny Walker Red. It's going to get destroyed. It cannot happen. It will not happen. But all the rest, it's anybody's game. It's anybody's. And Bafford, not even the trainer. It's anybody's game. What's the best food when having a drink? I don't know. I usually drink water and maybe 2 ounces of wine. Wow, says B Aviation. Hello, Ron, says Maxwell. Maxwell is in Russia. He's in the Russian Federation. Okay, well, I'm shocked. I'm kind of shocked because I thought I had him nailed. I thought you got this nailed. But I had him mixed up. Sorry. I don't really feel bad about it because I think Sazerac makes a lot of really good cheap scotch, rum, brandy, etc., tequila, whiskey that can compete with things that are twice the price. Now, am I touting Sir Malcom like, oh, it's a great thing, you just got to get it? No. It's like drinking a box of Cheerios, okay? But then Dewar's is about the same experience, drinking a box of Cheerios, but you're paying twice the amount. Why are you paying $20 a bottle for something that is 25 cents better when you could get one for $10? That's what I'm trying to communicate to you on this hangout. Now, the next one tomorrow morning, Dawn Busters. This is even more of a mismatch because I'm telling you right now, I can get Piper Dean. I was just at Albertsons Saturday. They had it for $7.99. Was it $7.99 or was it $6.99? I don't know. It was some real low price. Piper Dean, same label. They hadn't changed the label. Piper Dean. Bottle in Louisville, and you know who's doing it. It's Sazerac bottling it for Albertsons. Now, that could really be a game changer because if Piper Dean, and I've had people comment say I drink it all the time. If Piper Dean can rival Dewar's, that will tell you something. That will tell you why are you paying $20 when you could buy one for $8. I don't think it's going to match up, but could be wrong, and it's going to be a blind taste test, so I'm very curious to find out. So tomorrow, Piper Dean. You would think getting whipped by Dewar's, but don't be so sure. And then, we got single malt coming into play, and we got the Glenrothes 1995, aged 18 years in barrels, 1995 to 2013, courtesy of Robert the Whiskey Scout. Thank you, Robert. This single malt is going into competition against Tomatin Legacy, the Tomatin Legacy Dualcus. It's going to go into competition against Glenmorangie. It's going into competition against the Glenlivet Family Reserve. Very curious to see what happens. All right, thanks everybody. This was a pretty interesting taste challenge. I thought that the Sir Malcom would win, and by virtue of price, like you pay in $10 and it's competing and holding his own against a $20 bottle. So I thought that would happen. I did not think I would get them confused one with the other. So that's even more shocking. Well, that's the shocking part. But anyway, oh well, I did the best I could do. Thank you for watching this video production. Everybody have a great Monday night. Baseball's coming on at the top of the hour.